Hello there and welcome to the card grotto. I've had a few people mention recently on my blog that they struggle with knowing how to emboss with dies as opposed to cutting them. So I thought I would just do a quick demonstration on how to do it with the Cuttlebug. I don't have any other machine that I can show you how to use, like the Big Shot or anything like that, so I apologise. But the concept is basically the same thing. I just happen to have the Cuttlebug. So you need your normal kind of cutting supplies for the machine, but what makes it not cut and emboss is one of these, which is a tan mat. So it doesn't have to be tan in colour, but if you hear the phrase tan mat, this is what it is, because pretty much all of them are tan in colour. But it's just a piece of rubber, and it's fairly thick. Not as thick as, say, a whole cutting plate, depending on obviously what machine you use, but it's fairly thick, and obviously it's bouncy because it's rubber. By having this, means that it doesn't cut the die, it just embosses it. So I'm going to show you how to do it. I'm going to use some dies here. You can use any type of dies with this kind of technique. But I'm going to use these circle dies here. So they're from the clearly bezzotted geometric style 2. These are the ones that coordinate with this stamp set here. So I'm going to use these ones, and what will happen is you'll get 3 lines because of these kind of dies with the kind of hollow inside. So you'll get the outside line of the die, you'll get the actual cutting line where you would usually cut, and then you get the line of the inside as well. You can use it with these kind of dies that have the inside already in it, if that makes sense. This is the clearly bezzotted decorative matte die, and you can still use it, and you'll get 2 lines. You'll get the one from the outside, and then you'll get the cutting line as well, but you won't sort of get any in the inside. So it just depends on what look you're going for and what kind of die you want. So I'm going to use these ones here. The only thing with using these kind of dies is when you get them, quite often they'll be connected to each other. That's just how they manufacture them. So what you need to do is cut the little kind of connecting lines, and you want to make sure that they're completely filed down. So I use one of these files. They're from Basic Grey, I think. I got them a long time ago, but you can use, I'm sure that you can use any file, like, you know, the ones you do your nails with. I have no nails, so I don't have any files. I had to buy some specifically, but you can use that, and just make sure you really file down the edges, because otherwise those little bits of metal on the outside will emboss and it just won't look as nice. So you want to make sure that you do that. So I'm going to use these ones here. So for the Cuttlebug, you want the spacer A plate, and then you want a B plate, and it doesn't matter whether it's your cutting one or normal. I tend to try and keep one without cutting lines on it, and one with cutting lines on it, so that if I need something placed on this one, I won't get the embossed lines. I don't know if any of you have that problem, but if you see on the back of your die cut, sometimes you'll have all these lines that have embossed in it. That just happens to me, it might not happen to everyone else. So either one, it doesn't matter because you're not cutting through it. And then you want your tan mat, and then for my particular machine, or what I've found to be the best, is to get some Shims, which is basically, I just use cardstock. I've had these since I first had my first Cuttlebug years and years and years ago, and I've just kept the same 3 pieces and never changed them. So I have them on the top. It just, for me, gives a slightly better impression. And then you've got your cardstock that you're going to emboss on, and then you want your dies face down. So I'm just going to pop 3 on here, like say if I wanted to do a little pattern. The only thing, because I use very thick cardstock, use the Paper Tray Ink Stamper Select, what you don't really want to do is kind of use any of this kind of post-it tape or any kind of tape really to tape them down, because depending on how thick your sandwich is, you don't want that. You'll get an impression basically of where you've put the tape. So if you can manage not to, I would suggest don't put any tape and kind of hold them down, just to kind of place them on the top. You then obviously want your other B plate, pop that over the top, and then you want to run that through, and then because of the tan mat it will have embossed it and not cut it, which is really great. So as you can see here, you can just sort of see the other lines there. You can't actually really see the inside one, but you can see the two outside ones. So obviously it depends on how thick, as I said, your sandwich is. If you didn't want the outside one, you just wanted the one that cuts, you might not need the shims, so it depends on the look you're going for. But that's how you do it, and I just think it's really good because, as you can see, you've got quite like a impression on the back as well, but that'll be the back of your panel. Obviously you could use it as your front as well if you wanted to, different kind of look. And I just think it's a really great way to utilise your dies without cutting them as well. So I hope that's helped some of you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.